What's going down, folks? It's your boy C23 back on the Madden 17 franchise, and for the second time in 3 seasons, the Atlanta Falcons are back in the Super Bowl. Now, the road that we traveled to get to this point was a little bit different this time around. After a heartbreaking loss in the NFC Championship game last season, we had to fight our way through the NFC South, the NFC East, and the AFC North before knocking off the Chicago Bears in the NFC Divisional round. And then after that, in probably one of the most epic playoff games that I've ever played in Madden against the Seattle Seahawks, with the clock all the way down to 0 in the game's final play, we were able to punch our ticket to the Super Bowl versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, heading down to the field for the coin toss, the captains for both teams are on the field. The toss is up, Jacksonville calls tails, and sure enough, tails it is. So Jacksonville wins the coin toss, and given the choice to defer to the second half or to receive, the Jaguars defer, so the Falcons will receive first to kick off the Super Bowl. So the kick is up, and Super Bowl 53 is officially underway. The kick is received by Frederick Pointer, and he's going to take it all the way up to the 28-yard line. So on comes the rookie phenom, Zach Anderson, making his first Super Bowl appearance, and he's looking to prove that the bright lights on the biggest stage isn't too much to handle. So getting into the gameplay, Anderson takes the snap and hits Julio Jones across the middle of the field for a gain of 14. The next play on 1st and 10, Anderson tries to take the carry up the middle and was stood up for a moment, but somehow fell forward for a positive gain. So that's going to pick up a gain of 3 on the play, bringing up a 2nd and 7. But taking a quick look at the offense, we got James and Tyler on the right side with Mack in the middle, along with Levitri and Matthews anchoring the blind side. We've got Davis and Eubanks at tailback, Austin Hooper at tight end, and Julio and KB rounding out the wide receiver core. And on cue, KB makes a big catch, picking up a first down. So on first down from the 43, Eubanks, looking for running room, gets tackled for only a 1-yard gain. Next play though, Eubanks explodes off the right side and gets pushed out of bounds by Joyce for a nice pickup. Next play, 1st and 10, Eubanks tries to duplicate the last run but to the left side, but there's no running room there. The play only goes for 2 yards. Next play on 2nd and 8 though, Julio Jones makes a nice catch in the heart of the Jacksonville defense, setting us up with 1st and goal at the 7-yard line. Then we come out on 1st and goal, Kevin Body makes the grab and runs in for the first score of the Super Bowl, and just like that, it's a 7-0 lead. So Jacksonville, looking to answer, hands the ball off to Yeldon, and after putting a defender on skates, he picks up a nice gain of 15 on the run. So that brings up a 1st and 10 from the 40. Bortles trying to scramble but gets sacked by Malik Austin. That was a monster of a play by the second-year defensive tackle, taking on the double team, just pushing the left guard aside, splitting the double team to get to Blake Bortles and bring him down for the sack. What a play there, because it sets up a 2nd and 19 situation. The Jags keep the ball on the ground, handing it back to Yeldon, and TJ is going to get all 19 yards of that on one play. That was a horrible job by the Falcons' run defense. Next play, 1st and 10, again, another breakdown in the secondary leaves Thomas running wide open for a gain of 20, and the Falcons' defense is on their heels a little bit late in the first quarter. So Dan Quinn decides to be a little more aggressive with the play calling on 2nd and 8, sending the blitz down the middle as Taylor Till get into Blake Bortles for the sack. And Taylor gets up knowing that he just made a huge play to impact the Jacksonville drive, because it knocks him back to a 3rd and long. DQ drops everybody back in coverage, only rushing 4, so Blake is forced to get rid of it. So that's going to set up a long field goal attempt. The kick is up and no good. So the sack by Taylor Till ended up being huge because it knocked him out of field goal range. So we take possession after the missed field goal at the 42-yard line. Julio makes the grab on the slant, setting up a 2nd and 1. Anderson hands it off to Eubanks off the left side, and there's just nowhere to go with it. That play is actually going to lose a yard. But on the next play on 3rd and 2, Eubanks picks up just enough to move the chains. So we're slowly but surely marching down the field, crossing the 50-yard line. Next play, dumping it underneath to Body. Ooh, he takes a big hit on the play, but holds on to the ball. A couple plays later on the 3rd and 9 situation, Anderson drops back and tries to thread the needle there, but the pass is broken up. So Matt Bosher and the punting unit comes out trying to play the field position game. The punt is up and away, and it drops right inside the 10-yard line and bounces out of bounds. So the Jags are going to take position officially at the 8-yard line, needing to march the length of the field for a score. They come out handing the ball off to Yeldon, but Fontenot is right there waiting to shut the play down for almost no gain. On 2nd and 9 though, the run defense parts like the Red Sea and gives Yeldon an easy first down on the play. That is not going to get it done. We're definitely going to have to step up our run game. So on 1st and 10, the handoff goes to Yeldon again. Beasley's there for the tackle, but look at what happens. The team's premier pass rusher, Vic Beasley, goes down with an injury. He appears to be favoring his right shoulder, or maybe it's the left shoulder, I'm not really sure, but the team doctors are saying his return to action is highly doubtful. So anchoring the right defensive end spot is now going to be Courtney Upshaw. And if you guys remember back to the first couple of seasons, Courtney Upshaw came in and played phenomenally for us. So there really shouldn't be a huge drop off in production from that position. But getting back to the gameplay though, after Till made a nice tackle setting up a 3rd and long for the Jags, Bortles is under pressure and almost coughs it up right there. That could have been a pick. But either way, the defense did a good job at forcing the 3 and out. But check out this punt. They angle it perfectly to go out of bounds at the 1 yard line. So we have to march 99 yards downfield to punch it in for 7. So Anderson going with the passing game to Julio there on the slant, picks up a 1st down. Next play from the 13, Eubanks tries to take it off the right side but runs right into a wall of defenders. He's having another rough day. So far in the game, he has 19 yards on 8 carries. My math might be a little bit off, but that's 2 yards and change a carry. That's not going to get it done. So on 2nd and 9 here, Anderson going with the hard play action, looking downfield, has a man. Julio with the grab, and no, please don't get hurt trying to hurdle. That is not something that we need right now in the Super Bowl. Julio fortunately held on to it there for a nice pickup of 21. A couple plays later on 2nd and 7, Anderson dropping back, delivers a beautiful pass to Josh Gordon, making his first catch of the day for a 1st down. Anderson then jumps right into the no-huddle, rushing everybody back to the line, takes the snap under center, hands it off to Eubanks up the gut, and he picks up a nice gain of about 6 or 7 on the play. Once again, staying with the no-huddle, rushing everybody back, trying to keep the Jags defense off balance here, coming out in the 3-wide set, going back to the passing game on this play, tries to hit Kevin Body across the middle, but it's broken up by the DB. That was pretty good defense on that play, because it brings up a 3rd and 4 situation. Anderson doesn't get rid of it in time, and the Jacksonville defense makes a stand on 3rd down. So just when we were getting momentum, the drive stalls and we're forced to try a really long field goal. Dominguez has the leg to get this done. The kick is up, but just a little bit short. And that kick was facing the 6-mile-an-hour wind. He barely missed it. Dominguez has a ridiculously strong leg. So after the missed field goal, the Jags are on the move, marching down the field at the 42. A missed tackle frees up Dupree, and he picks up a 1st down, bringing up a 1st and 10 from the 30. Bortles fires a laser into Thomas. I don't know how that pass got there, but it's going to set him up at the 10-yard line. Bortles comes out in a 4-wide set, takes the snap in the gun, throws complete to Thomas, and he can't get in. Thomas gets tackled at the 1-yard line. So that's going to bring up 2nd and inches, and somebody on the Falcons defense needs to make a play. Shazier reads the run play by the fullback and levels him. Shazier diagnosed it and was not having any part of the fullback dive. That was a nice play right there. So on 3rd and 1, we sell out to stop the run and get home. Yeldon loses a yard on the play. That was excellent goal line defense by the Falcons right there. So the Jags are forced to settle for 3, and we'll take that because that drive definitely could have put 7 on the board. So getting into the Jags' first possession of the 3rd quarter, setting up shop at the Falcons 35, Yeldon gets the carry off the left side and gets another nice run. I'm not sure what's going on with our run defense. We already gave up 81 yards on 13 carries. So on 2nd and 2 here, anticipating the run, I dial up the blitz, and Keanu Neal gets to Blake Bortles for the sack. I bet you Bortles wishes he would have handed that ball off on that play, but instead he went play action and held on to it, and that gave Keanu Neal time to get there. So on 3rd and 10 now, going with the play action fake once again. Bortles under pressure, throws it up for grabs, and Sherrod Westmoreland says, "Thank you very much, I'll take that," and comes down with the interception for the touchback. So after Westmoreland's interception, we need to make some plays here on offense. Julio makes the grab on a slant and bullies his way forward for the 1st down. Julio was fighting for those extra yards there. Then on the next play, Eubanks gets the carry, stiff arms a player, but still only gets a couple on the play. So that brings up a 2nd and 8 now. Anderson dropping back, trying to make a play, delivers a beautiful pass to KB, and he's got green grass in front of him, taking it all the way up to the 10-yard line. The Anderson to KB connection has been pretty much unstoppable all season long. That long play of 45 yards sets us up with the 1st and goal at the 10, but the drive stalls after 3 straight running plays, and we're forced to settle for 3. I know what you guys are thinking. I probably should have been more creative in the red zone, but hey, I didn't want to make a turnover, so I ran the ball 3 times. That's what happened. Now, getting back on defense, Yeldon runs right into Taylor Till for a 3-yard carry, bringing up a 2nd and 7. Bortles dropping it off to Dupree underneath, and he picks up the first down. That's going to move him all the way up to the 38. Blake then makes a check at the line, takes the snap, setting up the wide receiver screen to Hearns, and he's going to get positive yardage on that. We probably should have stopped that in the backfield, but that's going to set him up with a 2nd and 4. Yeldon with a nice spin move, breaks a tackle into the open field and almost punches it in. TJ Yeldon has somehow transformed into David Johnson. He is out here killing us. So on the next play on 1st and goal, Desmond Trufant had it, but couldn't make the grab for the interception. Desmond turns to locate the ball, but can't get his body completely turned around. So instead of an interception, the ball is knocked down incomplete. So looking at 2nd and goal from the 2, Bortles going with the option out of the pistol, but the Falcons are not having any of that, and the play gets shut down for a loss. So looking at a 3rd and goal from the 5-yard line to start the 4th quarter, Bortles takes the snap and the gun, has a lot of time in the pocket. Just as it collapses, he gets rid of the ball to Yeldon, but he can't make the grab. So 4th and goal, the Jags are going for it. Bortles scrambles, then dumps it off to Hearns, and that play goes nowhere. So the defense does another great job in the red zone, not giving up a touchdown. So the defense came out to play in this one. Now we need our offense to get going. Eubanks with the carry off right tackle finally breaks it into the secondary, and that gain's gonna go for about a 16-yard pickup. A couple plays later on 2nd and 7, Eubanks puts his head down and runs over a defender. That is a grown man play right there. Running through defenders, bulldozing ahead for extra yardage. That was a ferocious play by Eubanks. So after the play by Eubanks on 1st and 10, Hooper gets open, and his first catch of the Super Bowl comes on a pretty important drive. We've got to get points right here. Eubanks getting another carry off the right side, and this time he's going to get 9 on the carry. So we're looking at a 2nd and 1 now. Eubanks getting the handoff again, just picks up enough yardage there for a 1st down. That play was pretty close to being shut down from behind. A couple plays later on 2nd and 9, trying to go with the screen game, Davis makes the grab, breaks a tackle, gets a good block in front by Alex Mack, and picks up a 1st down. So Anderson comes out in the next play looking to be aggressive, takes a shot in the end zone, and yeah, that just happened, you guys. I threw an interception in the red zone in the 4th quarter of the Super Bowl. Now, the pause that you just saw a second ago is for me throwing the controller halfway across the room, because I just threw a red zone interception with about 4 minutes and change in the 4th quarter of a Super Bowl. Now, Amukamara made a heck of a play on this ball. I like to throw that deep in route to Julio with a lot of anticipation, just so the ball gets there right around the time that Julio breaks out of his route. So maybe there was just too much anticipation there, but I think that Prince Amukamara just made a nice play. On the ensuing drive on 2nd and 10, Bortles completes a pass to Yeldon, and that's going to gain him enough yardage for a 1st. Next play, Bortles lined up in the pistol, going with the play action, trying to make a big play downfield, throws in the one-on-one coverage, Hearns versus Trufant, and Desmond ends up knocking it loose. That was a nice play by Trufant. And Hearns gets back up and has a couple of words for Desmond after the play. He tries walking away, but hold on. What just happened right there? Did you guys see that? That must have been some next-level trash talk to make him Jamiroquai over and try to square up. I've never seen that before. So here we go with 2 minutes left in the game and a 7-point lead. The Jags are marching down the field. Hearns makes a nice grab right there for a 1st down. Bortles then comes out in an empty backfield, tries to scramble, has room in front of him, and ends up picking up a 1st down and some. We cannot give up those types of plays. Now taking over at the 13, Bortles once again empty set, goes quick to Hearns underneath, and he almost grabs the 1st there, moving him all the way up to the 3-yard line. Bortles then tries to keep the pressure on by going to the hurry up, but we have to call a timeout. We got to get settled here. This is a huge defensive play. It's a 7-point game with the clock winding down in the 4th quarter. 1st and goal. Yeldon gets the carry, and Taylor Till makes the tackle at the 1. So now we need another stop, expecting to run. The Falcons crowd the line of scrimmage. Bortles coming out in the gun now. Goes with the play action. He's under pressure, and the ball's knocked out. Deion Jones picks it up at the 20, and he is running all the way to Disney World. A 90-yard fumble recovery for a touchdown. Are you kidding me? I'm telling you guys, I couldn't draw this up any better. What a crazy play. So the Jaguars have one last chance to make something happen in this one. We kick it off, and they field the kick at the 2, looking for a big play. The returner brings it up and gets leveled. Rouse is right there to pick it up for the easy scoop and score, and the Atlanta Falcons are going to walk out of Super Bowl 53 with a late game victory. I kid you not, you guys, this is probably one of the most unusual but still exciting games that I've ever played in. The game was pretty close, coming all the way down to probably the final couple of plays in the fourth quarter, and with the Jaguars threatening to score to tie the game up, and Keon Fontenot came screaming off the edge to make the play, forcing the fumble so Deion Jones could pick it up and take it back to the house. This was definitely a fun way to cap off Season 3. Now, a lot of you guys might be wondering, am I going to do a Season 4? And the short answer is yes. When I started this franchise, my original goal was to try to do 10 seasons. Now, will I get to 10 seasons? Who knows? A lot of that really depends on whether or not you guys are still enjoying the content, and also whether or not I still enjoy playing the game that late in the cycle. So we'll see how it plays out long term, but yes, I am going to continue the series, you guys. So wrapping up with the stats the way that we usually do, Zach Anderson had 222 yards on 14 completions, 1 touchdown and 1 pick. This wasn't his best game statistically, but whenever you complete more than 70% of your passes, I can't really complain, so I'm definitely happy about that. Now onto the running game, it was really sluggish in this one early on. But later in the third and fourth quarter, we were able to kind of get things going a little bit. Dre was able to break off a couple of nice runs for big yardage, and when he finished the game averaging 4.5 yards a carry, there really isn't too much to complain about. Now onto the receivers, KB and Julio Jones were pretty much what they've been all season long, and that's really being the best wide receiver tandem in the game. There's nothing that these two guys haven't been able to do for me, so I'm definitely happy to have them. Anyways, folks, that's all the time I've got for this video as well as for Season 3. I hope you guys enjoyed every single game that I put out this year. I put a lot of effort and time into making each one. So if you feel the need to do so, please drop me a like down below. I greatly appreciate it. It really does help me to stay motivated to create more videos like these for you guys. I know a lot of other content creators say the same thing in their videos, but trust me, it really does help a lot when you guys do that. Anyways, folks, I'm up against it, so that's my time. I'm signing off, and I'll see you in the next one.